So psychos, are you ready? So with no further ado, please help me welcome, first, Kirsten Nelson, Jasmine Simon, Kurt Fuller, Corbin Burnson, Maggie Lawson, and GalaxyCon San Jose. Give it up for Timothy Omanson.
Oh, is that you? Are you? Don't hit your microphones. No, stop it.
What's happening?
No, it's
don't know.
Corbin.
Corbin, what are you doing?
Being bad.
Being bad.
Okay.
Are we sitting?
I just like the cane, so I was gonna keep it. Do you like that we brought our bags out? We brought our bags
We're so
out.
girly.
We're girly. Wait, where are you going?
Oh, he's coming down over here. His
Down
headset's
here.
over here. All right, everybody move down.
Slide.
Corbin,
Thank God
go
we're
down.
rehearsing.
Go down.
It's going so
Good
well.
morning, everyone.
Ladies, the ladies get their own cab.
I'm not sitting next to you.
That worked. That worked out.
Finally.
Oh, it's so bad.
Being back on the show.
How long have you all been waiting to do that?
Forever.
Thank you for waking up for the rest of us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to do this again
know, we
in
love
a new city. How many of you went to the live podcast recording last night?
Yay! We had a good time, didn't we? We had a good time last night. Oh, can you hear? Okay,
Birthday
you're
girl.
good.
It was spectacular.
It really was. Thank you all for being there.
Well, and the fact that Tim pulled off that surprise for you. He got you a birthday cake.
Happy birthday,
Both
Max.
pulled it off.
No,
Thank
I
you.
had nothing to do with it. I merely went off stage and tried to have a really bad excuse for why I'm leaving in the middle of the
Kirsten,
podcast.
There was
This
colluding involved, put it that way.
Like,
hilarious.
my lipstick.
I was like, what?
They're like, this is a podcast.
The
They
worst
can't
part
see
was
your
Tim-
lips.
Tim was like, yeah, go. You need to fix your lipstick. And I was like, that's so mean.
No, that was her improv. Because Kirsten and I were in cahoots about this, and I said,
Yeah.
I'm probably going to give you a signal, something very subtle, like, hey, Kirsten, you want to go do that thing?
Yeah, I was like, I'm waiting for your subtle
That was the
clue.
code
So
word.
subtle.
It's like,
And
go
then you-
leave.
And then you come up
Don't
with
you gotta
lipstick.
go pee, Kirsten? Do
I certainly do have to go pee my lipstick.
you want to talk about pee?
Matt Gallup, she's going, am I missing something? He's like, yes, you are. It's
Kurt loves
have
talking
to
about
say-
pee.
Kirsten and Jasmine have been talking about bodily functions all morning.
Because we're
Makes
human.
me-
Because we're human.
Because we're people.
I know.
Just, regular.
stars. They're just like us.
I'm so finicky.
They pee and wash their hands.
And they poop.
Oh, he's going to die now.
Oh, God.
Boy. Oh.
I'm just saying. No, not me.
Thank you. Thank you,
know.
all people who groaned.
I feel like there's a definite change, I don't want to say change of wind, pardon the pun, between that side of the stage and this side of the stage.
Yeah.
Kirsten, I do have a question.
Yeah.
Was
My
there
lipstick.
Was there any intrusive thoughts as you got closer to Maggie last night that, man, this cake would look fantastic across her face?
Oh, did you see it in my eyes? Because I know you were there suddenly in like the backstage. I was like, oh.
It almost happened.
It did almost happen.
And I would have been okay with it.
Would you? But
What
you.
a memory.
I know. She was wearing this cute little black outfit, and it was a white cake
Oh,
with
no.
red and strawberries, and I was like, you felt like, oh, hey, it's a wedding. It was a wedding episode. What if I'd put my hand in that cake and just go smoosh? But I
loved it.
didn't.
I would have loved it.
But you
I would've
didn't.
loved
I'm
it,
proud
but
of
she
you.
didn't.
Thank you.
You know, throwing a cake in somebody's face is no good. What's really terrible, it happened to me once. It was when you lean over to blow out the candles and somebody behind you
Oh,
turns
yeah.
back.
No.
Oh,
That's
seriously?
with the candles lit, which is what happened to my hair.
Same here.
Yeah.
Did you all enjoy the cake? Whoever had any? Was it good? Okay, good. All right. Yeah. Great.
It's a smattering of applause.
It wasn't great.
They're like, it was okay.
No, you just couldn't eat it.
Yeah.
So you didn't even have your own cake?
No. I had some strawberries.
They were really good
They
strawberries.
were great strawberries, but no, I can't have the gluten. And there's a lot in a cake.
Because we're human and bodily functions happen.
Kurt.
Okay, you know
Wow.
what, I get it. Guilty as charged. I'm finicky old man.
But you're a girl dad. You are such a girl dad. The two girls sitting there talking about this BS in front
He
of
said,
you.
no, they don't.
I'm apparently a terrible father because it's just not my thing. I let my wife do all that stuff.
Fair.
Fair.
Corbin, I like
Sorry.
your hat.
What's that?
Your hat.
Oh, Papa Bear hat. Yeah.
Yeah, it literally is.
My Papa Bear hat. I found that.
Wait, can I just? I see you, Milo, getting ready. But Papa Bear, did James start that with you, or did you give yourself that moniker?
That'd be really weird for me to do that to myself.
I'm called the
no,
queen.
that was James. That
It was James.
Papa Bear. Did we? This now here's. I know nothing about this TV series called Psych. Did
It was
nobody ever
awesome.
called me that in the show though? Did they?
Oh, I think
Oh yeah. Okay. Like I said, I know absolutely nothing.
He wasn't there. It was an
Papa
out-of-body
Bear.
experience.
Because I know
for him.
James always called me Papa Bear. He still does.
Yeah.
Hey Papa Bear. Hey Papa Bear.
I think we kind of all do now.
And
Yeah,
if,
and the
yeah,
text
I mean,
threads. Yeah,
on the
text-
family text thread, it is.
You
Papa
use
Bear.
Papa Bear all the time, Tim. You do. But did we, so it was in the show?
Yes.
Wow.
Where was I?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Because
If
Kirsten,
it's not
if
your line, you don't read it. Let's face
if Corbin had given himself
don't
the
read
name,
any
it
of
would have
the
been
lines.
Handsome Bear.
Handsome
Free
Bear.
balling
If
it.
Corbin had given himself the name, it would have been Handsome Bear.
Yeah, that would
What's
have been.
that?
You would have called yourself Handsome Bear.
I don't do that.
Yes, he does.
No.
Yes, he
Little
does.
bit, little bit.
And you are handsome.
Okay, from now on in the
Bear,
text thread,
maybe.
I'm going to say, instead of Papa Bear, I'm just going to say Handsome Papa Bear.
Handsome Papa Bear. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What would we call Kurt after seeing D's nuts?
What?
I-
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this a Speedo joke?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what?
Obviously,
People think
obviously,
that
it's going to be
old men
Polar
wearing
Bear.
nothing is
Polar
funny.
bear.
It's not.
Polar bear.
It was chilly. It was
Polar
cold.
Bear.
It was cold.
No,
Oh,
no,
God!
no, no, no.
What do you
no,
know?
you- Kirsten, how dare you?
I mean, it was.
You're assuming no.
It's
It's
humiliating.
no.
that
I
was-
meant Kirsten. I meant pole, as in a polar bear. Not that it was cold.
No, no, no.
Sorry,
no.
let's move on to the questions.
South. Oh,
Okay.
God, all the. we can't get away from them.
Hey, Milo, how's your day going?
By the way, is there anybody from San Francisco here? Yes. Yes. Well,
I was born in San Francisco.
you were born in San
Same,
Francisco.
46 in Noriega, Kaiser Permanente.
Well,
San Francisco General Hospital.
as we move
1847.
as
He
we
was the
move to
first
the
baby.
movie takes place in San Francisco, but not to break any hearts, but the series wasn't actually filmed in San Francisco, correct?
Huh?
Santa Barbara.
Santa
Santa
Barbara.
Barbara. No, no,
Neither.
no, no.
None of D, none of the above.
No.
Right? They showed the Golden Gate Bridge, showed something, but you know, like everyone's like, "Ooh,
It was
I know
Toronto,
that place," but
California.
Not at all.
I mean, Vancouver, California.
I was like, you
Vancouver,
should.
California.
Vancouver,
Just changed the whole
California.
Canadian country.
Yeah. No.
Well, it makes sense. It wasn't actually because it's Psych Francisco.
Psych Francisco.
Vancouver, I think, is a better match for San Francisco than it is for Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The fogginess,
absolutely.
the rain, the
Very
water.
similar, actually. Very similar towns.
They are, with
Yeah.
the hills and the weather.
The water.
the weather, I mean, right, because sunshiny Santa Barbara, maybe not so sunshiny Vancouver.
Okay, I gotta say, as a guy who didn't start until season 4, you look at the show. There's a murder a week in Santa
Sorry.
Barbara.
And yet
Right.
it feels like you've been
It's
on
a town
since.
of what, 8,000 people or
Correct.
10,000 people, and a place that had a 7-year drought. It's constantly raining. The streets are always wet. Who's gonna buy this?
Raise
Well,
your
and the-
hand.
And the same 3 bougainvillea and palm trees are behind
And the
every
same
shot.
palm trees. There's like 4 palm trees they roll into every.
Do you remember the first season? It was like they took so much time. Screw your makeup and all that. They wanted to make sure the bougainvillea and the palm trees were always outside a window. By the end of it, it's like now we're in the forest. It's pouring, and that's Santa Barbara. That was, yeah, no, but
Well,
you know.
and when we were watching for the podcast last night, it was Dee's Nups, and one of Sean's final speeches. We don't need to go into that emotional thing again. I know, but he does say,
recovered, please don't.
"I've put hundreds of criminals away. A lot of them were murderers." And it still struck me. I'm like, what the hell is going on in Santa Barbara?
Okay, look, if we can refer to the musical, the first line of Under Santa Barbara Skies is, It's the murder. No, it's the first line of the chorus. It's the murder capital of the world.
Yeah.
the world.
Of the
Of the
world.
world.
The world.
Not the city, not the state.
No.
The
entire
world.
But
All of it.
did Santa Barbara ever say, "Hey, you can't stop that"?
Like
You're
they would.
making we're
A cease and
we're
desist?
way down.
Got a cease and desist. Stop saying that.
I don't think Oprah ever would do that. It's kind of like her town now. So she's like, fine.
She's like, it was crime till I got here.
She
Now it's
smells
over.
so good.
Well, and I think it is Montecito, isn't she in Montecito? I mean, I'm sure the Montecito people go, no, we're not Santa Barbara.
Oh.
We are Montecito.
Oh, you guys were the ghetto part of Montecito called Santa Barbara. I got it. Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That tracks.
You're adorable.
The mean streets of Santa
Santa
Barbara.
Barbara. No,
Yeah.
it makes sense now.
Murder capital of the world.
The
there
whole
it is.
thing.
The Speedo capital of the world is what I thought.
Yeah.
And scene.
Still damaged.
Well, as I mentioned, we do have a microphone right here. I don't know where this is going to go, but if you do have questions, please start lining up. As folks start lining up, I'm going to ask you my last question before we get to our fan questions. And of course, I am a nerd myself, which is why my favorite episode goes all the way back to season 1, where they do go to, surprise, surprise, a comic convention. And Juliet does announce she is a collector of things, but never announces what those things are. So I'm going to ask you, as we go down the line, what do you all personally, do you collect anything?
I'll start. Snow globes. 10,000 of them.
Seriously, he has
I have
10,000.
one of the largest collections of snow globes in the world.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you
From
still-
like the places you've been to, or
Places I've been, collections I bought, everywhere I go. My wife hates it. She hates it.
And where do you have them now?
Now they're in a storage container in LA waiting to ship to New York, but I can't do it during a cold season because they'll freeze. So
How ironic, they're snow
I'm
globes.
trying to get them to what? We did a Psych'd snow globe. I didn't get one. That's the only one I don't have.
If
Are
I'll
you
look
kidding?
to see if Julie has one. I'll sneak it to you.
Oh, that's sweet.
I will.
Oh, they gave one to Dulé, but not the guy
I
who
don't know
collects
if they gave it
snow
to him. I
globes.
don't know. I'm saying if I
Yeah,
find it,
snow
I will
globes
give it
is
to
my
you.
thing.
that's kind of
Yeah,
I like
it's a
that.
record. You look it up, Google it. It's there. Pictures and all. Yep.
Is there a Psych snow globe? Is that a real thing?
I think there was a Psych'd snow globe.
Well, because there was one in an episode when they gave one to Lasser, and I'm pretty sure it said Psych in it.
Yeah.
That's right.
At the next GalaxyCon that your table is just gonna be filled with snow globes.
I love it. That's what I do. The weirdest time I ever got a snow globe. So I was doing LA law, and I was kind of like, kind of known. And I started collecting them. How I started is another whole story. But I put an ad in the LA Times. Celebrity wants to buy your snow globe collection.
You're
So I
kidding.
show up in the valley, and this woman opens the door, and there I am in the midst of LA law, all the stuff going on, and she was blown away. She wouldn't let me pay for them. It was my first big buy, was 50 snow globes. It meant a lot to this woman, but yeah.
Your first big buy was free.
My first big buy was free. Yeah, and I've used that tactic ever since.
It's like he has not paid for 9,500 of his 10,000 logos.
No, it's pretty cool. None of you have ever seen my snow globe collection, huh? No.
I
You're
am.
invited to, Corbin.
No, we weren't invited.
Because they're sitting in a storage locker since I moved
Okay,
to-
if you invite us,
If you invite us,
if
we
you
will
invite us,
come.
we will go to your storage unit and we will all grab about a couple hundred and we'll all shake them
I
all
will
at once.
tell you what I'm going to do. My plan is in the next year where I live upstate New York is to find a storefront and for free, because I got them for free basically, I'm going to share them, have a snow globe museum.
A shake day.
That's
And
one
then
of
to
my-
do a shake
It's
day.
one of my goals as I go into my 70th year of life. next
The
year.
line out of that museum is going to be enormous.
I want to share it. And by the way, my kids hate it. They're like they so badly want me to sell it before I die and give them the cash. They want nothing to do with it. But they all look at it and they marvel at it because it's pretty cool when you see 5 walls this big of snow globes.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah,
That is
it's
cool.
very
Unless
cool.
you have allergies.
But we'll do a Psych'd snow
Achoo.
globe. Wow, would that be cool? Can I do that? No, I can't do that, can I?
What?
Why?
Make a snake, a
license.
Psych'd
You're
snow
selling
globe?
Psych shirts.
You could do a
Not-
pineapple in a snow globe.
Yeah, it'd be a license.
A
You'd have
Henry snow
problems.
globe.
A Henry snow globe.
Henry snow globe.
There we go.
There we-
Next. Kurt, what do you collect except for bad memories?
Mine is really boring and hard to relate to, but I collect antique golf clubs.
Okay, and Jasmine,
Exactly. Let's move on.
That's cool.
Let's move on. No, I'm a big golfer,
I like
and
that.
I love old golf clubs. They're hickory shafts, and they're made
I was going to
from
say their
hand.
shafts are very different, aren't they?
They're kind of great. Yeah.
Oh.
So that's what I collect.
I'm actually embarrassed to say what I collect because it's not good for the environment.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Jeans.
Oh.
I have 100 pair of jeans.
No, you do
Yes,
not.
I do. All the jeans that I've ever bought, I have all of them.
You haven't given any of them away?
I keep them. And, times change, and, we end up back where we started. I have a pair of 7 bootcut jeans from when I was in high school, and I could wear them today. Y'all think I bought them.
you have any patchwork jeans?
I do have patchwork
Cool.
jeans. High-waisted, low-waisted.
Acid
mid-rise.
wash?
Be worth money.
Come to my closet. Yes.
Acid wash?
I have so many jeans, and now I know they're bad for the environment. But I've already purchased them, so I might as well keep them.
It's like stoles, minks.
Whenever I go in my closet, I'm like, where is that one pair of jeans? I know every pair of jeans. So anyway, that's my secret. Now
Did
you guys
Dule
all
get
know.
on you about that?
He doesn't say a peep.
Oh.
He collects tap shoes.
He's not dumb.
He has just as many tap shoes as I have jeans, so no. Good marriage.
I collect teapots. I know it's just kind of like it's kitschy. I don't even know how it started, but I think I had like 2 or 3, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And every time we'd travel, I'd kind of find a teapot. And
That's cool.
but it's really weird, like random people know this. Like we had an old neighbor in our neighborhood, and she was in her high 80s, and she was definitely moving because she wanted to sell her house. And she found my husband one day, flagged him down, and she's like, I have a teapot for your wife. And I was like, oh my God. So it's this beautiful old, Royal Dalton purple teapot. So I collect teapots.
I love tea.
Wow, you all collect like real things. I was gonna say wine.
That's real.
That's real.
But it doesn't last.
But I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh, I actually do try to get a little. That's true, it doesn't last. Some of them do, because some of them are being saved for special occasions. But no, I like to get a little piece of pottery almost like everywhere I go. I tend to buy like if I travel or whatever. So I have tiny little, all kinds of little cups, glasses, bowls, whatever. I got one in Antigua at your wedding. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
At my wedding.
At
She
your
looks so
wedding.
pretty.
You, you look so pretty.
But she
At your
looks so
own
pretty,
wedding.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the first thought I had was wine.
She'll never be thirsty.
Yeah.
Timmy, what do you got?
I would say flasks.
Oh,
Such
yeah.
a gentleman.
Yeah.
I still have. Just earlier, I tried to get one on every job. Anytime I'd go on a location, I'd try and find something.
Do you have one in your pocket now?
Of
Yeah.
course he does.
Yep.
Actually, I don't, because they took it at TSA took it. I'm kidding. No, I'm smart enough not to try and carrying them on a plane.
Yeah. Okay.
Now you know our secrets.
And then as I'm unhoarding my office, my back office, Allison's like, what are you doing with all these flasks? I'm like, you can't touch that one. That one's really important. They're all really important and precious, just like my babies.
Just like your babies.
Yeah.
Hello, what's your name?
I'm Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Julie.
So my question is, there have been so many great guest stars on your show, almost all of the Breakfast Club and the Clue cast and whatnot. How did you get such great connections with the guest stars, and do you have a favorite one?
Favors.
Well,
Like Dule will always say at the beginning, they called all of their friends. Everybody that Rode and Dule and everybody up here knew, they called and said, will you come do our show? Because it wasn't a known show at the time.
Yeah.
And so the homies.
Well, and we would make the joke, I think I've told that story a couple months ago with Tim and I. We were driving back in a van after one of oh my God, can you believe Carl Weathers was sitting in our studio today. We're working with him. How did we get him? Because I don't think we could get cast on this show if we already weren't series regulars, because it was a time when they were doing a lot of stunt casting as well on TV shows, and we were just so lucky that and I'm sorry, William Shatner is here today.
I
And
know,
I saw
right?
him, kind of like strolling in. And I was like, we had William Shatner on our show. And
You had
it's
John
been
Rhys
incredible.
Davies on your show.
And he's here too.
And he's here too.
And Rachel Lee Cook
Rachel
is
Lee
here.
Cook.
Rachel's here as well.
Janet Varney's around.
Yeah.
It wasn't as easy early on, but then eventually we became known as sort of like a really fun place to come and work and hang out for a weekend.
Yeah, there's certain shows like I did one episode of Seinfeld that if they ask you, you're obviously gonna go do it. And I think Psych was when I talk to actors, it's like, oh, I want to do that show, and there's not a lot of those. I mean, but there are some that all actors pretty much respond to.
Well, and I think it did help that, Dulé and James had almost their personas kind of preceded them. And if the actors didn't know the show, but their agents were offering them the role on the show, their agents would say, this is a good place to be.
Right.
These are good people. And a lot of that was from our top down.
And they were always great roles, too, the guest stars.
Oh, they were great roles. So it's kind of like, I got to
give
go
them
to
something good
Vancouver.
to do.
Yeah. So we all just sat back and were thrilled to
Kurt,
watch.
when you came on it though, was it like a one? Did you know it was going to be more?
No, I was going to do one. I came
Really?
on to do one episode.
Wow.
And do you all have a favorite? Who was your favorite guest star?
Well, in that case, Woody.
Thank you. I'm sitting right here. Jeez.
Kurt, I can't believe you didn't start until season 4 because it feels like you've always been part of the
I
show.
feel like you've always been there.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, do you have a favorite guest star?
I mean, it's funny because there's so many. We have like Jimmy Simpson, who was our friend, and we have like Ali Shee. But I have to say, the person that I think I was kind of the most intimidated and also like, what? It was John Cena, and I loved him so much.
Yeah.
He was such a doll. He is still so like I had such a good time. He was my brother, so that was a really fun one for me, and I think for all of us, we all had a good time with John Cena.
No more than James Roday.
No,
More
James
than-
Roday. Although James Roday was working for a lot of it, and it was Dulé and Tim and Andy who were going out with Cena and
I heard he could drink like a fish.
drink like a fish, and also would like actually give proper instructions on how to like take a shot.
Oh.
And
Gentlemen.
And then
There
they
are
would have
rules?
to practice.
It was a night at the
Try
Wink
again,
and Judge
take
across
two.
street from the
Take two.
from the Sutton place, and poor Andy Berman. Then John orders like a tray of shots of Jack, and I think they're kind of little half shots. So it was still about a half a pint of Jack that, like
Andy's a
12
little
shots
dude.
of Berman.
I'm
I
like,
know.
here's John,
Little-
here's Andy.
Yeah, and then a little Andy going, okay, I guess like Vic's line in D's Nuts, see you in the ER.
See you in the ER.
Yeah, we had a good time. But he also just like jumped right in, and it was fun. That's what I think of.
Who do you have, Corbin?
Well, I always enjoyed the fact that my wife was on it because I fell in love with her all over again, staring at her boobies. It was like, wow, gee, I'm actually married to this actress. I can go back to the hotel with her. But really, my favorite, because I grew up on Rocky Horror Picture Show. Tim Curry was,
That's
and we
Tim.
just had, I didn't really get to interact with a lot of those great guest stars, but Tim Curry, we had a thing. Well, we didn't have a thing, but.
Him and his wife had the thing, and then
Also,
him and Tim
back to the
Curry
hook-
did not
anyway.
have a thing.
Yeah, but Tim Curry was probably my favorite.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's
Yeah,
like
Tim
the,
appreciates that. Thank you.
it's like the 2000s version of Love Boat,
Yeah.
which nobody in here knows. Anyway, hello.
Hi guys.
Hi,
I'm Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay.
I just wanted to know, like, growing up, like my whole childhood, I'll always remember like the Golden Girls, and then as I got older, obviously Psych meant a great deal to me. I'm just wondering, growing up, or even recent shows, what show kind of had an influence on you, or maybe just made you want to go into acting?
Deep.
Sorry.
Real World Road Rules on MTV. I'm joking. That was a joke.
I would watch TV with my parents, and I've heard a lot of stories about like parents watching Psych, with their kids. But all I can think of is Little House on the Prairie, and I'm probably dating myself. It was like Little House on the Prairie, and then like the next night was Miami Vice. So we had these two kind of, polar opposite shows. Little House on the Prairie. Everybody wanted to be Laura, and I remember turning around after watching an episode. I know, not everybody. It's just the white girls with the long hair.
I didn't.
I was gonna say, but my Norwegian, Midwestern upbringing, I was like, yes, that's my life, finally. That I remember turning around after one episode and crying. I was bawling watching TV, and I remember turning around going, I can't believe this is happening, and my parents looking at me going, why is she getting so invested in this TV show? And I think it's one of those moments where I'm like, oh, it's just me. Oh, it's just me, the one that's getting so invested in storytelling. And so I think I kind of remember that of like a power of storytelling at a very young age of what can move you. That did not hold true for Psych, but with my role, but that was that with me. Miami Vice, I could not relate to at all. But I
You want to
enjoyed.
be Tubbs or Crockett?
I'm joking.
Tubbs.
When I was little, I remember my mom. We kind of shared this time where she would let me watch Saturday Night Live when I was really young, and it was like kind of beyond, like for a while it was like
Your comprehension wasn't there, but you watched
not
it.
totally,
Yeah.
but like I knew it was kind of adult, but like I felt very cool that I could watch it, and I became so obsessed with it, and it became a thing that we just did every Saturday night. Was she would let me stay up late and watch Saturday
that's
Night
so
Live,
cool.
and it like I to this day, like even the sound and the music, it's so nostalgic for me, and I think it was like the first time too. It's just like that kind of comedy. It's not the same, obviously. It's not Little House on the Prairie, but
Nothing was.
But I was really, I just really enjoyed it. I was blown away, and I think when I think back on it, as many of you have shared these stories of watching shows, now parents and kids and families and all of that. That was such a cool memory for me because my mom. It was something we shared,
You
but
shared,
also
yeah.
she was like, "All right, come on, you can do that. You can stay up late on Saturday night and watch Saturday Night Live with me."
TGI Friday. Anybody remember that?
Yes.
So TGI Friday for me was very influential in wanting to be an actor and making people laugh, and it was good quality TV.
Yeah.
I mean, except dinosaurs. I loved dinosaurs, but I don't know if I would call that.
Not the mama.
Not the mama. But TGI Friday is what really sticks out for me.
I think mine is
remember the whole
directly, the DNA
House?
is rooted in Psych is Gilligan's Island. I was a huge fan of Gilligan's Island. I wanted to be that idiot. And guess what? I got there.
Mission accomplished.
Thank you, Skipper.
All right, I'm gonna again. This is not fair because I go so far back. Does anybody, when I say this show, raise your hand if you know what it is? The Honeymooners.
Well, come on, of course.
Come on,
Yeah.
come on.
Come on.
Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Just do it. Okay, good.
Oh.
Yes, no.
Yeah, that show was an inspiration to me. I thought it was hilarious. And,
Yeah.
To the moon, Alice.
Exactly. Oh, bang zoom. No.
This is my head, and this is it flying right over it.
I know. Well,
Tim?
I'm a babe.
For me, it was because I grew up at a time where, unlike today, and these kids today, it's like kids didn't get to choose what was on the television. It's like I watched what my parents were watching, and my dad, because we grew up in Seattle, this was before. I know it's going to shock and terrify some people. Before cable and streaming, so because I grew up in Seattle, we could occasionally get a little UHF, BBC, and we'd get, and occasionally, if we were lucky, Monty Python would be on. So Python, and but truly, I think the thing that really I have the fondest memories of is MASH. I think I've seen every episode. And there was a day I was doing a convention years ago, and I saw Jamie Farr in the restaurant and went up and had a chat. And he said, "I'm here for Loretta." And I literally text Maggie. It's like, "This is us in 20 years, Maggie. You and me doing conventions for 20 years after the show's off."
And here we are.
Did we
That's a
all
great
say
show.
comedies? I think Oh, not Little House on the
This one,
Prairie.
she went deep.
That
She
wasn't
went
a comedy?
Norwegian on us. Norwegian dramedy. Just drama. Sorry,
Just
no
drama.
comma.
It's really hard. It's sweet.
Anyway, good question.
Thank
you so
Thank
much.
you,
Thanks,
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
All right. Hello, hello.
Hi,
It's
cutie.
okay. Just tip that down for you,
Tip
honey
down,
buns.
yeah.
There you go.
Why do you have a pineapple in every episode?
Good question.
Maggie, why do we have pineapple in every episode?
Okay, so I believe there are two parts to the story now that I've
theory.
learned. It's
The theory.
Steve Franks worked at the Tiki Room at Disneyland, so that is how pineapple got to Psych. However, on the pilot, there was a pineapple because there was pineapple on the set, and he always had pineapples there.
And I think they thought like, oh, this is a California thing to purchase.
Well,
You
it's,
go
it's
to the
also the,
grocery
it's the
store.
international welcome fruit, Steve would always say.
It is a welcome fruit, the international welcome fruit. At the end of a scene, it was an improv. James saw it on top of a refrigerator, and right before they leave that apartment or place that they're in, they grab it, and he says, "Should we slice this up for the road?" And that is how it began. It was an improv. It wasn't even scripted, and then it became the symbol of the show.
But I don't even remember how the second one happened. You know, if like that's
was
the first one.
consecutive, like,
Of,
if it happened
yeah,
in
if
the
like
second
did it happen in episode
Yeah.
2?
You
and
all
I don't
will know better.
Do you all know why? Do you know where it is in Spelling Bee?
Is it in spelling bee at all? Anyone? Challenge. And
You all
take
have
the
homework.
challenge.
So yeah, I don't know when it actually became in
The
every
thing.
single episode, but that is at least how it began.
Maggie,
Yeah.
I'm shocked you mentioned the origin episode because it's the episode we never discuss.
Yeah.
Because A Certain Ray of Sunshine wasn't in that one.
We've talked about it so much now, though, that I feel like I need to. I'm coming around to accepting.
Years of therapy.
Yeah.
Therapy, years of therapy. No, she's here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you.
All right, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm nervous now.
Oh no.
Me too.
Nervous.
I had a.
We pee and
Okay, we'll
poop.
be
Don't
nervous
be
together.
nervous.
I had a quick comment. I met my best friend in college, and we bonded over the show, and now I'll be best man at his wedding. So thank you for that. Gonna be a sight-themed wedding for sure. I had a question. Is there going to be any? Is there any? How do I say? Is there any like development of like a Psych 4 movie, maybe with John Cena? And when are we going to admit that Woody actually had the most game in the whole show?
Thank you.
Excellent question.
Thank you. Thank you.
I paid him to say that.
I don't care what it took. I appreciate it.
I think there's always a next movie in development. Wouldn't you guys say?
It's
There's always another movie
Uh-huh.
already written and ready to go.
There is a movie written and ready to
There
go.
is. There is.
That's
Okay,
true.
there is a movie written and ready to go.
We just need that little red
There's a-
light to go to green.
Yeah, as soon as that green light goes.
As soon as that
Yeah.
green light goes, I think all of us anxiously, I mean, dropping everything and going,
Yes.
that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
It's going to have to be soon, though, or Henry will actually be in a real old people's home.
I'll be pushing you around.
Yeah, I know you will.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Hello, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Juliana.
Hi,
And
Juliana.
my question is, what's everyone's favorite episode?
Like my flasks, they're all precious.
right. No, we can't pick our favorite baby.
Yeah.
All right, my favorite is Last Night Gus.
Oh, that's my favorite. Too.
Same.
My
Woody is-
favorite.
Woody is my favorite too.
Is it?
Yes.
Last Night Gus.
Last
Come
night,
on.
Gus.
Well, it's a fan favorite.
Yes,
It really,
Woody.
really, really is such a good, tight episode. It's so funny from start to finish, and you guys pulled it off so well. I mean, the gentlemen there are just, you guys, it's good.
The only problem with Last Night Gus is there wasn't enough with us and the ladies.
Yeah, the ladies aren't really in it. That's
I
true.
know it.
Sorry, guys.
I
Sorry,
go to
babes.
Mr. Yin. I go to Mr. Yin Presents. I know I say this a lot. I just think that episode start to finish with the Hitchcock and all the emotional stuff. I think it's so good. I think it's so special. That was really fun to film.
Clock Tower.
Mine is, and I always have to apologize to Maggie for this, but it's still a pilot because it was like this thing where we were,
all right. Safe
launching this whole thing, and it was like we were discovering for the first time, and it just, for me, doing a pilot is really, really exciting. And you know, how many hats in the room? I mean, I don't have a lot of quotes, but that one's a big one. And it was the first time we got to understand who Sean was, who's his kid, who's his character, and I don't know, I love the pilot. I love the pilot of LA Law, too. Same thing. What? Sorry,
I
Mag.
love it too. I really do.
Did you ever see
She
it?
loves it and she hates it.
Did you ever see the pilot?
No, but
I'm going to
heard-
replace
you've
that
heard
girl.
about it.
but I've heard about it, and it seems like it was great.
It was really fun. It was probably our best episode ever.
We're still
Stop
here.
it. Stop
So,
it.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I'm just very happy you all made this show. That way.
And the fact that, like,
No, I'll never watch it.
because I mean, we've all made pilots that didn't go. So just to get anything on television is nothing short of a miracle. Because there's been plenty of great things that we've all done that never see the light of day, which is
They're buried deep.
I mean,
deep.
watching James and Dulé start that relationship was fascinating. Because you could see right at the beginning, it was just this spark, this thing. You go, oh, I had been around for a while. I saw that's something. I knew we had something. Yeah.
the thing I've always used to describe this group right here, plus the boys, is lightning in a bottle. I mean, I think
Right.
it's 8 years, not a bad word between any of us in those 8 years, is just, again, miraculous.
I think I would have to say 1967, Psych'd. You know, it was special because I got
Somebody
to be
directed the shit out of
because I
that.
directed the shit out of it. Because I was at the helm of it, but really getting to direct and watch my friends have this arc and really play these things as part of them and watching distance from them as well. That one will always be very
You
special.
did a great job.
It was fun. It was fun. It was good.
It's like no big deal. It was great.
I had a good script. You know, what are you gonna do?
Don't downplay it.
All right.
Don't downplay
Half
it.
decent
no
actors.
minimization up here, ladies.
Wait a minute, you directed an episode?
Shut up. Just stop.
Was I in it?
No.
No. By request, I'm
How
sure.
does it feel, Henry?
He forgot about me.
Okay, touche. Ms. Lawson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we have a little bit. We have about 5 minutes left. We're gonna try to get through
We're
as
gonna be
many
so
as
fast.
possible.
We're
Just
gonna
like
be
Speed
that.
round.
Speed
Speed
round.
round.
I had a whole speech.
Thank you for doing what you do. I've had some recent handicap disabilities that I've come up, and I really think that you handle yourself really well. And the other question, the actual question is, in the day of social media, how is it different from when you went and you had to go audition and you had to do the thing? Now you can leak something onto a social media and get a movie or a book or a, you know, how easy.
I wish it was that easy. I would leak stuff it's so hard still.
It's still hard.
It's so hard.
It's probably harder because people think that they can leak
Too many.
something. Well, people think, I'll just leak this. But then the people that are really grinding and auditioning have to prove our worth against people that have never acted on a set, have never directed a single thing, have never read a whole script, have never written a book. I would say it's harder.
Yeah.
And the fact that casting a lot of times, now they'll go to your social media and go, well, okay, this is a great actor, but how many followers does this person have?
I think that's the weirdest
Or sorry,
part.
That's hard.
actress.
That's
Like,
hard.
There's no privacy. There's no separation. Like, so what used to be, you know, we had a lot of privacy, and you could really pick and choose sort of what was available to public or for people to even know about you, is now suddenly like where, you know, it's expected that you share your life, and then casting directors and producers and everybody, you know, there's no mystery. That I think the same way, I think there used to be a lot more like mystery in that, like where it was, you know, you could sort of go in and people not know who you are, but now you can go to social media and sort of say, oh, I can sort of see the essence of who this
Maggie likes wine, Tim likes flasks and whiskey.
I just
But
mean it more on like a privacy level, yeah.
On top of that, there's so many more pieces of the pie that people get to choose from. It's so much harder to get noticed. So much harder to go, hey, I'm still here. This is me. You know, and people making the decisions. There's so much available to them. I don't even know if they can make a good decision. It's
Well,
hard to know.
there's a lot available to them as far as, creators making their own creative decisions and stories, either on using platforms like TikTok or Instagram, or even YouTube, of like putting it out there. However, even though they have that kind of raw, really great talent, that idea, what's next? And a lot of those creators of the moment, making content of the moment, don't have a what's next. And I think that will always separate that kind of social media content from something that will have longevity.
And there's one other thing that I've always held true, and that is it either works or it doesn't work. It's not a matter of good or bad. You could say Baywatch is okay, it's a cheesy show, but Baywatch worked. It worked. Shows that work, and other stuff falls off.
But stop making untalented people famous. Like, let's stop.
How dare you?
Let's stop.
Just drop it.
Let's stop doing
I
that.
apologize for the whole world.
Thank you.
I
And
do
I
wanna
accept
say,
your apology.
One of my biggest regrets is turning down the lead in Baywatch, and they begged me. They begged
David
me. Corbin, you bring that
Hasselhoff
up and it
stole
hurts.
your spot.
They begged me.
Speedo.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Calliope.
Oh, I love that name.
Beautiful.
Calliope.
Hi, Maggie. Well, my question is really just for you, Maggie. In season 3, we see you in Talk Derby to Me. You roller skate,
Yes.
aggressively.
Nice.
Can you do that?
Maniac.
Yes, I can roller skate, and I may or may not have had a little training just because I really wanted to just do the roller derby training.
Hey,
even though they
Maggie,
had a
this is your
for
stunt
me.
double here. They're
And
going
I
to
was
do
like,
everything.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh.
I got it.
Oh.
So a lot of that was actually me. And I had a really good time. I could roller skate. No, I am not nearly as talented as those roller derby girls, but I did try, and I did do the training, and I even went down. I was going down to the Sunset Beach there in Vancouver, and I was practicing yeah. Anyway, I had a good time with that.
You did great.
Thanks.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
See, she's a real actor. See?
Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
Red, and I was wondering if there was an aspect of your characters' lives that you would have liked to explore further on the show.
Wasn't that deep a show?
Yes.
Good answer.
I
Yeah.
think that we all have such big lives off the screen. I would love to know more about the chief and her husband.
She's married?
I know, crazy, right? Dick Vic. So Richard and I'd love to meet
That's
him.
his name.
I would love to meet my husband, so I would like to see that.
It's a good one.
I'm just gonna second that.
I would have loved to see more of Woody at home. What was going on in there? I mean, I would have been great.
I don't want to open your refrigerator. That's the only place I do not want to open.
Good question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I think we have time for one last question. Yes,
Love the
queen,
socks.
do
Love
it.
the socks.
Yes.
Thank you. First of all, I just want to thank you all. As you said, it definitely is a show that you grow up with your kids watching together, and we have many fun family memories of watching this with my kids, and then rewatching again now that they're older. And my son just adores the show so much. Like repeatedly, he was Sean as for Halloween, and then our dog was the pineapple. So. But my question is for the Clue episode, I'm just curious how many of you were actually familiar with Clue beforehand and actually knew the movie and knew the actors, and especially of course Tim Curry's awesome part in that, and knew what was going on, or were you just kind of oh, this is a cool script and this is kind of cool, or so I was just curious about that.
I was very familiar with the movie. Madeline Kahn, if I could be anybody, it would have been her. She's just flames from the side of my head. See the, I think because James and Dule, mainly James, has this love affair with the 80s, it's kind of we needed to know all things 80s, and Clue with Martin Mull and getting Chris Lloyd. These guys were there, and we were just stunned again with these guest stars. of like this movie, this iconic joke of a movie. They're here, and they were, you know, Leslie Ann Warren sitting on a couch. She's ready to recreate with us and just play again with us. And so I knew it. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I wasn't there. Go.
Nor was I.
Next.
I haven't a clue.
Okay.
No, I don't
Well
remember
played.
much about that episode. I'm not in there a lot, as I recall. That's the only thing I remember.
That's
If I'm not
bitterness.
in an episode,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't have
bitterness.
any idea what they're talking about.
Fair.
Yeah, okay.
You
guys?
Clue? Yeah,
You knew Clue.
Of course.
I was not super familiar with her, even though it's the great Tim Curry, who is also my favorite guest star. So you and I are along
Yeah.
in one-on-one
Maggie,
with that.
did you know anything?
I did. I knew Clue. I
Two
just
and a half.
didn't know it like super well. Like
Did you
James
at least
did.
play the game?
But I played the game constantly. So like that, I really know the game.
Okay, good.
But I knew the movie enough. I knew who was in it. Like I knew we were getting like everybody.
Should I get Levi the game?
Oh, it's so fun.
Would he like that
I was
game?
gonna say maybe
It's a little
He's
dark.
5.
maybe on an upcoming
He's smart.
episode of the podcast, you play Clue for the podcast.
With Levi.
Oh my God, we have to. Oh, that would be so fun. We have to. Do
You guys
that.
want to see that?
Yes. Yes. Oh my God, Jasmine, we're doing that.
For sure. He's down. I count him in.
We'll get Kai too.
That is our time here. How about before we go, do you guys want to take a big group picture here?
Please,
All right.
please, please.
Sorry for those who we weren't able to get to. I see you have a saxophone. Do you play? Can you,
Play us out. Play
while
us
we
out.
are
Play us out.
While we are setting up for this stage selfie, can you play us a little bit? Here we go.